Should Lillard be the number one choice? Should his number one choice be the New York Knicks?
No, hell no. And look, here's the problem, right? When you start getting up in age, you start to lose your memory a little bit, and it happens to all old folks. And Marcus, you know, you and I from the southern part of Texas and the southern part of Louisiana, down there in the country, and our grandmas always used to say, God bless his heart, baby. He don't know no better. That's how I feel about Stephen A. right now. You're talking about, look, they have a small area in New York City. They have a small area in New York City that's called Coney Island, okay? Coney Island. Okay, if Damian Lillard decides to go to New York, it's going to be Lonely Island, all right? Because for the simple fact, he's going to be in the same position that he is in Portland. He's going to be in the same position. It's no reason for him to go to New York. Look, the only reason he goes to New York is to please the fan base of the New York Knicks. It's not going to benefit Damian Lillard. It's going to benefit Stephen A. and Spike Lee. He's not going to win a championship there. His number one choice right now, I think, is to stay in Portland. Stay in Portland and figure things out. You have C.J. McCollum, and y'all are one of the best dynamic backcourts in the game today. You just signed Norman Powell back. You have Big Nurkic. But most importantly, you have another voice in the locker room with Chauncey Billups. And we saw what happened throughout the playoffs when you have a different voice in the locker room with Ty Lue and the Clippers, Nate McMillan and the Atlanta Hawks, Monty Williams. When you have a new voice, now you have to just listen because Chauncey Billups has been to the mountaintop. Chauncey Billups knocked off the Lakers with Kobe, Shaq, Karl Malone, Gary Payton, and won Finals MVP. The Portland Trail Blazers could score points with the best of them. Their problem is defense. Chauncey Billups is going to go in there and impose his will. He's going to demand the locker room. He's going to get those guys to defend at his highest level. So, hell no. To answer your question, hell no, New York shouldn't be his number one choice.
Chauncey Billups is one of the few kind of smaller point guards to actually win a championship in NBA history as like the MVP, the lead-ish dog. So I guess that gives him some expertise to try to build this team around Damian Lillard. That seems like a better location. There are other places that he could go, but if it's between Portland and the Knicks, I think you're right. Stephen A. he's a great reporter. I trust him on most of the things that he talks about, except when it comes to the Knicks, because then he's thinking with his heart and not his head. Because there's nothing smart about coming to New York if your goal is to win a championship. Because first of all, he said it himself. Give them whatever they want. They're not close to winning a championship now. So we're going to give them everything and replace Damian Lillard with everything, and they're somehow going to get closer to winning a championship? So I don't believe that this is Damian Lillard's first destination or first choice as a destination. I think it's Stephen A.'s first choice for a Damian Lillard destination. And I learned over the past couple years when it comes to Damian Lillard, I don't believe anything that he says unless Chris Haynes says it. I don't believe Damian Lillard if he says something about how he feels, unless Chris Haynes says it. So that is the reporter that knows Damian Lillard best. That's the guy who gives us all our Damian Lillard information, and it is always on point. So until he says that Damian Lillard wants to go to the Knicks, I'm not going to believe it. And I'm sorry, Stephen A., the Knicks are still going to have to find somebody else because there's no way that Dame comes to New York. He wants to win a championship, and the Knicks are not close to doing it.
Well, for clarification, he did say Portland was the number one choice.
Right.
Obviously, working on it and him being there. But the second part is I disagree with both of y'all. I think the Knicks are a great spot for Dame Lillard because it's the foundational piece. Like, listen, we're not talking about a team. We know they're going to have to give some stuff up to get him over there. But you need a superstar. Like every franchise that's going to win a championship got to start with a superstar at some point. And based on the decisions that they've been making, look, I'm not a Dolan fan. Obviously, I'm not a Dolan fan based on how former players have been treated in Madison Square Garden. But when you look at what William Wesley has done and Perry, these dudes been pretty solid. Like the Knicks were in the playoffs this year and from abysmal. From people not even talking about the New York Knicks, and it's shifting over to the Brooklyn Nets. So if you can get Dame and continue to put pieces together and make this a plan that may be 2 or 3 years out as far as them being in contention for a championship, I see absolutely no problem with that. And looking at it from Dame's perspective, like if you big market, and obviously we just saw the Bucks win in a small market and win through the draft. But if you are a superstar and you go into a place, if you're going to leave where you are, you want to go to a place where it's going to be attractive for other superstars. And that's one place the Knicks will be. And I get it. Brooklyn is the love right now with KD and James Harden and obviously Kyrie there and everybody jumping on Brooklyn. But let the New York Knicks get a superstar and let them add another piece a year from now or 2 years from now, and we'll be having an entirely different conversation. In order for the New York Knicks to have success in winning a championship, because y'all looking at right now, at some point, they going to have a superstar in order to get it done. And we all know Dame is that.
See, here's the problem. I did not expect to come on this show this morning and start wrestling with Big Swagoo. And because of our size, it's probably sumo wrestling, all right? There's a lot of sumo
Furniture
wrestling
moving
going on because we both big fellas. But it's furniture moving. But here's the point. Look, Damian Lillard is 31 years of age, all right? It's not too much left in his prime, Swagoo. And I understand the market is big. But Damian Lillard has made over $400 million for his NBA earnings, his shoe deal. Right now, Damian Lillard has to worry about winning a championship. Again, I'm going to go back to the point of Kevin Garnett. Different players, obviously, right? Kevin Garnett, power forward, center, whatever you want to call him. Damian Lillard, point guard. 31 years of age, 31 years of age. KG carried the Minnesota Timberwolves on his back for 9 or 10 years before he decided to leave. Damian Lillard is 31 years of age, had been carrying the Portland Trail Blazers for 9 years. It's time for him to go. You heard what Dame, it's time for him to win a championship.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.